team skirmishes kind of last a bit longer because we do have bonfires, right? Previously, the bonfires, campfires, you can't really stack them, but now you can stack 2 to 3. That means that there's just more benefits to carrying that around. And we're seeing a lot of teams start to utilize it. And this only happened kind of in the phase 2. So I think teams that really adapt to it well will have a slight advantage. But Farang just not even going to contest Refinery. They have been pressured couple of times when they dropped to their favorite spot, so they did decide to make a change. But on the other end, MDH, first team to run into at Foundation is going to be, I believe, first Raiders. And that's the team that wants to catch up. And MDH, they've already lost 2, about to be 3. Nuke holding on, not for a long. Virus finds him. No, don't cry, trying to get away. Drops the time turner, blocks a couple of shots, but he knows that it is basically the end for MDH. And after all that effort to get into top 6, this is what they get in round number 2 of day 3.
I feel that sometimes just taking these hot drops, at the beginning of the round are just kind of a coin flip, really, because you're just leaving yourself to in the lap of the gods, really, to decide your fate. Because if you just drop and you don't find the good weaponry you need, or you don't get up to speed fast enough to start taking the battle, it just ends up becoming a losing streak there for your squad. And MDH had to find this out the hard way, though, because it just felt like they weren't that prepared, really, to face up a team as strong as they were in this kind of hot drop. So very unfortunate for them. They were really up until that point actually having a good chance of trying to make a campaign for the first page, but having back-to-back rounds where they just get themselves limited early on, this is not going to bode well to their momentum at all.
Yeah. And that also means we would have more potential teams contesting for the 6th place.
Fair enough.
Everything going exactly to plan. This is kind of the big evil plan.
Yeah, the mastermind.
The mastermind of everything.
The mastermind of SPS or something, pulling his strings, pulling his puppets in the direction he wants it to, right?
Don't worry, we don't have direct influence. We're just talking about it, but if it happens, then it happens. Fate has it.
In if you want to think conspiratorially, if the mastermind behind SPS pulling the strings, we're the one just kind of giving you guys the news reports about it.
We don't even have the power to start the game, let alone pull the strings for this. Farang and Anxiety in a bit of a scuffle, too bad getting the initial kill onto Shomai. Anxiety very, very split up to get hunted down one by one. Hawkeye getting a bit of a showtime today, so Anxiety also playing with a slightly different roster. Toby and Jaboy are not playing today. We get Hawkeye in the mix and basic as well, but at least, with this very split approach, they should be able to salvage one of their members in case things go wrong. And it seems like it's going to go very wrong. The Hawkeye is gone. Basic is also kind of caught up. I think Kanoho is the only one that's running away.
Yep, picking up some loot now, and Anxiety gets pushed off of Mammoth here. Kanoho is the only one left standing here, but watch out for Sem9, though. They're approaching Mammoth as well, and it looks like they want to try to maybe third-party this situation here. So I think sooner rather than later, they're going to have to watch to kind of turn tail and defend their position here on Mammoth. But for Kanoho, he's going to be playing the long game. Jembal and Spade, I think they're going to be spotting Sem9 very soon. Too bad Jezebel on the opposite side where the carcass is, so they're not necessarily going to be able to jump on this battle quickly enough. So Jembal's going to have to hold his O for quite a while as he spots out Zen OP going for the loot box. Oh, nice shot from Zen OP though, getting the headshot onto Jembal. So now Farah knows that they're being engaged upon. Zen OP goes straight for the loot box here using a glue wall to make sure he takes a shot. Oh, and Spade gets picked off as well by Zen OP, and Raja finishes him off. So this is already turning from bad to worse now for Farah, because not only weren't able to get trades, but now Sem9 are just approaching their position there. A red danger zone has just appeared to the northern side of Mammoth, and that's making any sort of exfil attempt going to be very hard here for Farang, because they're just literally going to have to turn away from where the safe zone is.
Just unlucky. A grappling gun makes a big difference. Farang didn't even expect Raja to be there that fast. But yeah, I mean, Farang able to revive the 2 fallen teammates, and now as a result of that, they are very split up. It's going to take them a while to kind of regroup again together. But for Sem9, they have taken so much control over this, I believe this south western side of the map. Mammoth in their control. They, to a certain extent, also has some ground over the sub, but now all of them are gathered at Mammoth. So that's gonna see where Sem9 goes towards though with the circle. Very much including the minute.
Yeah, Refinery is getting a bit crowded here. Flash in the meantime are just north of where Refinery is. But just to mention about that specific area, there was already trying to see if they can gatekeep Flash a little bit by sending some shots their way. So they certainly already spotted that squad on the northern side. Souza as well as the rest of First Raiders are already set up in Refinery itself, so it seems like they are really trying to make that campaign to get to that final circle. The thing is that with Dewa and King of Gamers surrounding them in both sides there, it's going to become a bit of a hot spot, especially if that next circle lands on top of Refinery. Then we know that's going to be the next field of battle here for these squads. But things are kind of slowing down to a crawl at the moment. Flash is not really budging yet until this first circle is already completed. You can already see the blue zone starting to cramp everyone, and even then, when you look at the map, you know, about a third of the whole map is just taken up by the canyons by this circle at the moment. So there's not really a lot of ground to cover. And look at that, though, the next circle landing right on Refinery. So maybe First Raiders might be onto something here.
Honestly, I would love it if all of the games today has the final circle end up in like a very urban area. You know, we just have urban warfare as a theme. Day one, we had circles that literally go to the most obnoxious areas on every map. Day two was kind of almost the same, but we had urban warfare on our first round, and I wouldn't mind having one more at Refinery. I think that would be great to kind of see where these teams stand. But VGM, well, once more, guess who's the one challenging them? It's Heavy again. Seems like they want to settle the score from Bermuda, you know, without any intervention. No, Axis kind of spoiled the 4 versus 4, but now they really get to see that skill gap. Now, who is better at Free Fire? And Heavy is just putting immense pressure. Those nades are flying through. No connections just yet. Tom XD with the third one. That one also bounces a bit wide. As Me Now is going to push on forward. VGM on the run. Not really interested in fighting Heavy, but with all these constant bombardments, VGM might have to leave someone behind.
Well, the thing is that they're pulling back because that's where the revive point is. So even if they do lose someone during this process, they do have that as insurance, and they also even have a vehicle to use as well. So one person at least could become an insurance for the squad to just continue to take this fight right now. But in the meantime, Heavy is holding position. They realize that the beyond this point here is going to be quite wide open, which will open them up to an attack or counter attack actually from VGM. But at the moment, looks like it's going to be a bit of a siege here. As long as the Heavy can just maintain the position, they should be able to gatekeep VGM as they've taken down Bingsu now. So that's adding some pressure now for VGM to try to find a flank. As Vantan moves up forward here, tries to draw their fire away here, while Boite tries to make a break for the radio tower right now to get a good base of fire. Vantan is still trying to hold his own, though. Boite now under fire here. He's going to try to flank around this glue wall, but Heavy, unfortunately, not able to break right through. Heavy, in the meantime, looks like they already caught up to where what exactly VGM is up to, and they're trying to prevent this flank from being able to come to fruition, but the pressure is still mounting here. Heavy unfortunately loses. Tom XD Fudai does get a trade in the form of Boite, but now they're 3 versus 2 at the moment. VGM, Vantan is still taking a lot of pressure here, has already half his health cut down, requiring himself to burn a lot of his glue walls, and Bill now tries to flank him, gets him just in time as Buffalo finish off Vant in the distance, and that allows Heavy to win out this fight against VGM.
Yeah, Buffalo has such sharp senses. This guy, he hunted down that one straggler from VGM who was trying to capture the revive point. The idea was there, it was great. Just buy enough time for me to capture the revival point, and if you guys go down, you get instantly revived. But Buffalo hunts him down and prevents VGM from having any chance in this game. And Heavy is just going to continue extending that lead. They are already in third place. They are very close to catching up to Expand. And with that play, it just proves that Heavy are not only catching up, but they are also adapting really well to what the other teams are doing right now. Anxiety, on the other hand, Kanoho was able to bring his teammates back, but that means they would need so much more time, away from their safe zone to kind of gear up. Expand will be pressuring Farang and keeping them away from command posts.
So first Raiders is still going to have the golden spot right now with the next circle landing on Tower Refinery. So we are probably going to get what you're asking for, which is an urban warfare in that final circle. But now all the teams who are on the outskirts of this blue zone here are now starting to make their way inside. So we're already seeing some gatekeeping attempts here. Now that Heavy has already successfully gatekept VGM, they're going to be facing off against Expand. Magic catch a first blood there onto Axel. So they're already putting Expand under pressure here in the command post.
Here they go, Buffalo. He's always the one that starts off the fight, and unfortunately for Expand, they will have to fight this 3v4. Actually, Axel might be rescued though, Roy. He needs some time to work with Fudai coming in from the flank. Buffalo gets the finisher. Xiao was able to down Fudai, so there is still a chance, an opportunity for Expand to hold on to this. Roy able to bring Excel back to life, so there's still some numbers for Expand. You see the name bounce in. The pincer comes through. What? Roy cuts him now? What is this? He did get traded back as Tom XD was able to double up and kind of secure his teammate. And Buffalo, what a nasty shot on the Cobra. That should not be allowed in Free Fire, but it's Buffalo, and he does it again! This time on the Shah! Expand had no chance to begin with. Heavy might have just done it. Roy, I believe EXO is the only one that's left alive, and he should not be anywhere near Heavy at this point.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near Heavy, especially when Buffalo has a sniper rifle, because he can catch you even when you least expect it. He was literally sniping the edges of the blue wall and somehow managed to get a shot through. Now Heavy just meets up on top of this tower here to try to push Expands off, and look at the amount of blue walls that has been brought out here. And the Cobra is just having a hard time navigating through this, not less because of the satellite dish and the loot box as well, making it quite hard for him to maneuver. Finally, he jumps off of there, uses a grapple gun to try to peel away from this battle and get towards Refinery, but he gets caught out in the process though. Xia has been finished off. Mill now finishes off Cobra here. Expand is completely getting themselves decimated, even though they were attempting to gatekeep the Heavy. Heavy instead brute forced their way through, and then now they have already done a number onto a Team Expand.
Yeah, they were able to keep Heavy away when Heavy went for the push, but Farang just had to ruin that moment, getting a snipe onto Xia. But again, EXO, last man alive, last man standing. A lot of work to do. Unfortunately, spotted out by the one and only Buffalo. I think Expand's time will be cut short. Heavy is the team that wants to overtake them for second place, and it seems like that is going to come true very soon unless you get that intervention for Farang, which is happening. Axel somehow guns down Tom XD, but Buffalo, of course, lands the finishing blow. Heavy keeps on going, but now there are bigger problems because a secondary Malaysian team is going to take them on. It's going to be Farang. Buffalo hiding behind that glue wall, but his teammates are all dead.
Yeah, that's a problem here, and now Sem9 is getting to the mix as well. They see Axis trying to make a way towards the edge of the Refinery. Too bad he's going to try to get himself up on top here, but now he's going to be under fire from First Raiders, who are already set up on top of the platforms. Meanwhile, Sem9 getting grenade launcher shots onto Flame 7, putting down almost to a sliver of health before he brings out the Time Turner. Now they're going to try to do their very best to knock out Axis Esports, while in the meantime Flash gets eliminated by Dewa United on the top side, and that's going to be an open invitation for King of Gamers to jump and become a third party in that fight. Now Raja is going to continue to find 66 Rav, gets him down with a shotgun. Dark Hole in the meantime getting shots on the King of Gamers here, while Zen-OP finishes off the rest of Axis to put them out in 8th place.
Yeah, shot to death from underneath. Buffalo, he's still in this fight. Finally dispatched by Lozzy. First Raider still holding on to Refinery in a very, very strong manner. Osaka with a God nade to end the run for Dewa United. KOG, they want to repent, they want to redeem what was lost from round number 1, and they are doing really well in that department. Anxiety still around as Farang continues to try and take out Sem9. We see Newbie on the ground. So far, that scuffle is not going to end anytime soon. Farang have the high ground though. What is Sem9's approach? They have 8 kills in the bag. We need a grappling gun for Sem9 to make some sort of headway. Zen-OP, he's trying to get the line of sight in, but Farang, they are basically trapped between a rock and a hard place. You have First Raiders looking down at them, and they also need to worry about getting shot by underneath by Sem9. First Raiders having the best spot right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they got here early on, so they allowed them to set up even onto the satellite dish. So that's given them full line of sight to a lot of teams that are trying to approach the Refinery right now. So they're going to have to fight on the lower grounds here in order to try to force First Raiders to fight them on the ground. King of Gamers moving on the other side as well. So First Raiders have double time in terms of work here to prevent teams from taking control over the bottom of the platform. Seems that has actually come to fruition though, as Anxiety also gets himself onto the ground floor. So everyone's Everyone's meeting up in the lobby, just inviting First Raiders to just jump down and just challenge them right now. But First Raiders conversely knows that as long as they hold the high ground here, they have all the advantage at the moment. Farang in the meantime, Jembal trying his very best to keep the Sem9 gate kept from this next phase of the battle here, getting good trouble down to force Yubi to back off right now. Sem9 still struggling to try to find an opening, and with the blue wall already up against their backs, they're running out of options here, I think.
They're running out of time. The circle is going to close in completely. Is First Raider going to win this just with the blue zone like in round 1? I feel like this is going to be the narrative of the day. Zen OP finishing off too bad as First Raiders. They have spread the forces out thin, but like you said, Victor, it is working out. They're keeping all these teams at bay. And the best part of all, no teams have been able to get onto the actual platform of the refinery. They are all trapped right here. Sem9, they're trying. They boost over the wall. They run over Jembal. And this should be the end for Farang, finishing in 5th place. First Raider still holding strong. They are dropping grenades like it's Christmas. Santa has come to town, but this Santa is deadly. As Ika was able to get a knock, and now Sosa goes in, tries to go for the slam dunk, gets dunked on by Hawkeye instead from afar. Osaka gets intercepted. Raja, what a charge buster! A 2-for-1 exchange as Sem9, they actually wipe out KOG. Still in that top 3, anxiety goes down. It's now First Raider and Sem9. But the center of the blue zone is actually on open ground. First Raiders, they gotta drop down right now. Darko, he is already on the ground. First Raiders, a 2 versus 3 scenario. Can they pull it off? Sem9, they're desperately waiting. First Raiders, they are just biding their time. The last moment before they make that leap of faith. It's Assassin's Creed style, baby. Without the haystack, it's all the way down into Sem9's territory.
Here we go!
He's gonna start healing. He just jumps down. He just decides to commit Sudoku, and now it's Lozzy left alive. Sem9 rushes him down. Lozzy can't do it. Sem9 have done it.
The grapple gun was all Sem9 needed to make the difference there, and now they've earned themselves yet another booyah to solidify their position on top of the board. But mammoth effort as well, gotta say, for First Raiders Eclipse, because they have actually